Welcome to the video. Before we begin, if not already, please take a moment to subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. And click the bell icon to receive notifications when I upload. Comment your little heart out. And most of all, please enjoy. Now back to the video.
I'm gonna let you lead since, this is your thing.
That's been forever. Hey, we're back. We haven't done a date night since, I don't know, before the pandemic.
Well, it's been a really long time.
Yeah.
At least 2 years.
I think the last movie we did was Terminator.
No idea.
Yeah. We just got back from seeing Spider-Man.
We're not actually back from seeing it. We're in the car.
Yeah.
Outside of seeing it.
We're out from seeing it.
Yeah. We just finished.
And oh boy, there's a lot to unpack here.
There's a lot. Yeah, there is a ton. Like, should we assume that everybody knows the premise, the idea that there's a multiverse and the multiverse is...
If it's discussed in the trailers, it's open season 2.
Okay, so they talk about that in the trailer.
Yeah.
So there's a multiverse with all the different characters and all the different Spider-Man universes and all that stuff. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
And if you're not... See, here's one of the things that I kind of had an issue with. If you're not as caught up on the Tobey Maguire versions and the Andrew Garfield versions,
yeah,
you're not like those movies and those villains and that plot point, like you're not going to know everybody, and it's going to be, some of it's going to be really lost on you.
They really did count on people having seen those movies, and considering how old those are, chances are they did see it. But especially,
I'm going to just say this, like younger people, like, I mean, obviously, like
kids
these days, and they're Tom Holland and Zendaya, but like they appeal to a certain younger audience. I mean, which is fair. Anyway,
it was kind of neat seeing the old villains come back. A little weird because most of them died.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, they're here. That's the one thing issue I have with the whole multiverse thing. It's a neat opportunity to bring universes together, bring content, more characters, and play around. But it's also can be a massive cheat.
Right?
Like if someone dies in this universe,
it's like time travel, right? Like if you can always go back and fix it, then nothing really means anything.
Yeah. So, and they keep saying, Iron Man's dead. Spoilers. But with the multiverse, we can pull an Iron Man from another universe, and it's not quite the same thing. But it could be a massive cheat. Potentially, if they use it well, if they don't go nuts on it, I feel like they kind of balanced it here. That just means in future projects that are also going to use it, it may wear thin.
I think that's a distinct possibility.
I'm glad they fixed Electro. The blue meanie op.
Yeah.
Just wasn't working for me.
They show that in the trailer?
Oh yeah.
Right? Okay.
You even showed that he was regularly Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
And neat. They even showed in the commercial when he uses his powers, he gets the lightning bolt shape of his mask.
Yeah.
So a nice little nod to otherwise would be a silly costume on film.
I thought the acting was amazing. I thought everyone did a superb job. I mean, as usual.
It was a lot more emotional than I was expecting. All kinds of different feelings.
We're not going to get into all the emotional reasons, but it was definitely a moving, touching movie. It was funny, but not too funny.
They weren't trying too hard. It had wit.
Right.
But
it didn't feel like action comedy movie.
They weren't trying to be funny.
Right.
It just kind of came out naturally.
Yeah, it was clever.
There's a lot of good interplay between characters, a lot of good banter. It really expanded on a lot of characters. The characters who returned from the previous movie, their roles were expanded. Ned got more to do. I did not know Ned was Filipino. I had no clue until I started hearing the Tagalog flow. His Lola. Like, wait, this sounds familiar. Yeah, I understood that reference. They are just out of high school, right? They finally graduated?
No, they were starting their senior year, remember? Like all the, I don't know.
Oh, is that what
like
this was?
the paparazzi kind of thing? We're all at his school to
Okay, so they're
start
still
his
in high
senior
school.
year.
Okay.
Well, yeah, they're like senior year of high school.
Chances are there's going to be another movie. I read that Tom Holland.
Very different.
Tom Holland was signed by Sony for 3 more Spider-Man movies.
Along with the Uncharted stuff, because I think there's going to be multiple movies if they do well.
If it does well.
Yeah.
I could see it. If it tanks, they're not going to... Sony will cut it loose.
I think it'll do well.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying to keep it as spoiler-free as possible. It's hard because there's so much I want to say.
I know. The windows are all foggy in here.
I know.
It looks like we're doing something more fun than this.
With the lights on.
With the lights on, yeah. I think that's pretty much all we can talk about right now without,
There is some concepts of the movie. I mean, do you think... Actually, now that I think about it, it probably would absolutely happen. I'm talking about how one guy on one website says Spider-Man's a villain because he did this, and then one news clip comes out. Suddenly, more than half the world hates him. A few years ago, I probably would have called bullshit on that, but these days...
I think we've all been proven wrong on that.
There's a lot of people who will believe anything J. Jonah Jameson tells them. I would probably believe anything J. Jonah Jameson told me. I just wanted to scream at the screen, bitch, he's helped save the universe.
Right?
It's like, so what if he killed Donnie Darko?
All the Swifties out there, big Spider-Man fans now.
Yeah. Look what you made her do.
Shall we wrap this up?
I think so. I don't think there's much more we can...
It was a great movie.
It was really good.
Great movie. Lots of payoff.
A lot of payoff. It's like all payoff. I don't feel like there's anything they set up that wasn't dealt with in any way.
Big fan service.
A lot of fan service. A lot of squeeing in the audience.
Yeah, literally. Like, people just so excited and happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cute. It was cute.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time at the movies.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to have seen it. I probably want to see it again.
That's what we needed. Just like a feel good, like, wow. I mean, there were some feel bad parts of it too, I guess, but like, it was just a good movie.
Yeah, it had a lot of emotion, a lot of investment. I was really into it.
I don't have anything bad to say about it. The only thing that I think could be an issue is that if you haven't seen the previous iterations of the Spider-Man universe, you may not understand or get all of the references or anything like that. But again, I don't think that would make it a horrible movie. Like, if you hadn't seen those things and you wanted to go see it,
I think it would enrich the experience if you were more familiar with the movies.
Yes.
But I don't think it's a prerequisite.
No, you can still enjoy the movie. You just may not have that same kind of enthusiasm with some of the things. Yeah.
Me being an old timer, having sat in the theater for the first Spider-Man movie, I was like, oh yes.
Yeah.
A lot of callbacks, a lot of references, good fan service. It wasn't too hard. A lot of characters, and they balanced them pretty good, and the story was pretty solid.
Yeah, I felt like there was a lot of balance. As we've seen in other Spider-Man movies, that's not always the case. Yeah. Sometimes they try to throw too much at the end, or
they're trying to set up movies that haven't been made yet.
Yeah.
And that was my big problem I had with The Amazing Spider-Man 2. They're setting up Sinister Six. They're giving us all these bad guys, and they even shoehorned Rhino, which didn't need to be there. Yeah. But it has just killed the movie for me. That and electricity fixing Jamie Foxx's teeth. That was weird. Remember when he turned into Electro, his teeth went...
Yeah.
Yeah, you have kids with crooked teeth out there sticking forks in sockets trying to fix their...
It was good. Go watch it.
There are 2 post-credit scenes. Stick around for those. Because I saw a lot of people get up after the first one, so, hang around.
Absolutely.
It'll get you jazzed for the next step in the Marvel Universe.
Okay.
That's it for this.
Bye. Have fun.
Yeah, enjoy the movie, and we'll catch you next time. Toodles.